Yeah, man, just unbelievable, man. Great energy in here right now, and just very exciting.
You said you felt like you kind of owed it to the fans to take this fight, even though it's not your thing. Can you kind of explain that a little bit? Why do you feel like you owed it?
Yeah, well, over the last year, it's been really tough to be a Jon Jones fan for sure. I definitely haven't made it easy, and I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to save the day for these guys. UFC 151 happened a long time ago. It's something that some people still hold against me to this day. So getting in here for all these fans, saving this card, I felt as if it would just give me some brownie points with my fans.
Jones, it's like you control your demon inside. It's like you control your demon inside.
I don't understand.
It's like you controlled your demon inside of you.
Do you feel like you control the demons inside of you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do I feel like I don't really think I had too many demons. I feel alive. I feel as if I've grown a lot. I feel as if everything happens for a reason, and we're all on these different journeys and different paths in life, and we're all going to live life differently. So I feel good. I feel happy with who I am today and where I'm at today.
Hey, John, what was your reaction yesterday with McGregor, that tweet saying he's retiring and getting pulled from UFC 200?
I don't think he's retired. I don't think he's going to retire. Just a few days ago on his Instagram, he said, "Hungry like day one."
Right.
And so a guy like Conor, he's a fighter, and he is a winner. And I don't think he would want to go out on a loss. I think if he doesn't fight again, his legacy is really that Diaz fight. So I'm pretty sure he'll be back. And hats off to him for standing up for what he believes is right. At the end of the day, business is business, and the guy obviously has respect for himself and his talents, and fights like this will help fighters in the future. So I respect his balls, I guess. Oh, that sounds bad. I won't say I respect his balls. Let's see. Yeah, I respect his willingness to fight for what's right.
Did you understand kind of, after what you went through with UFC 151?
Which one of you guys are going to headline John respects Conor's balls? Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Did you kind of sympathize with him a little bit, making that stand? Because, you had to go through that with 151, this kind of like the venomous reaction you got. Maybe, it wasn't really deserved. You didn't...
Yeah, I don't really sympathize. Conor knows what he's doing. And like I said, I believe he'll be back. So... and Conor's made a lot of money, so I'm sure he's in a position right now where he doesn't need to jump up and fight at the next event. I'm sure he can afford to take a long time off. So yeah, he'll be back.
John, in these situations, you have, whenever there's been any issue, you haven't been all that willing to address it. This time you're talking about your sobriety and all that. What changed, and why is it cathartic for you to be able to talk about that publicly like you have?
Well, I guess what's changed is everything is out there for the public to see for themselves. So there's really no hiding anything anymore, and it's really freeing to just be so open and honest with all the fans. I believe somewhere someone out there will draw strength from my struggles, and they'll see the way that I've dealt with them and I've come back from them, and they'll find some type of strength and inspiration from it. And me knowing that I really am not only fighting for my own life, but I feel like I'm fighting to inspire someone else in the future. So that gives me extra added strength, I guess.
Let me follow up one question on that, if I could. Addiction is obviously a lifelong battle, right? How do you, are you getting help with that in terms of, because, it's never an easy thing to stay on. You've mentioned your sobriety, how many days it is, and I don't know how many it is right now, but,
right, yeah.
Is somebody with you to kind of help you through that process to fight the fight, so to speak?
No, I have been doing it by myself. I know I get a lot of backlash for my one-day rehab stint, but, right now I feel great, and I've been doing a great job with it. I think I'm around 7 months sober, and from what I hear, rehab or addiction, it's a thing that you take one day at a time. And as of right now, I'm doing awesome with it, and I'm just really, really proud of myself. And I hope, to be, like I said, an inspiration to someone else to know that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. So
let's say you don't get scratched at all in this next fight. DC's ready for UFC 200 and they need a savior, could you step in? Is that something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. I totally step in to UFC 100 and fill in that main event or co-main event slot. Main event slot.
You thought UFC 100, now 200. That would be symmetrical, right?
Yeah, I don't think. Is there anybody else?
I think he might be
both?
the only one, unless GSP fights.
Unless GSP, yeah, I would love to be the first guy to fight at UFC 100 and 200.
Jon, what's it like to battle with the idea
The only guy.
you might be your own worst enemy?
You know, I have been my own worst enemy. You know, I've done a lot of great things throughout my career. A lot of great things for my friends and family that changed a lot of people's lives. But I've also gotten in my own way, and you know, I don't really battle with the idea. You know, the proof is in what's happened. You know, but at the same time, you know, I've grown, and I can't really beat myself up for my past because my past has made me the stronger guy that I am today. And so I'm grateful for my struggles. You know, I've made it through them, and I've been able to grow a lot. So, you know, I said after one of my fights, I thanked my fiance's mom after one of my fights because she taught me that adversity is the opportunity to grow. And, you know, I wasn't growing for a while. And now I've grown tremendously, so I'm grateful for my struggles.
You've always been open about respecting Anderson Silva and wanting to break his record. Was that one of the most difficult parts of this process, was having your consecutive records stalled?
No, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, you know, they'll know. They'll know. If I go on for the next several years, winning championships, you know, the argument and the records, the argument will change. You know, people will just say, hey, you know, Jon had a setback in his career. Technically, Anderson still has that record. What Jon Jones is, you know, he went on to win, let's say, 10 more world titles, whatever. So I just think, you know, through time, everything else will take care of itself.
How excited are you to do what you are initially known for, to get it back in there and just compete?
Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back in there and to show some of the new fans of why there's so much hype around me. To show some of the new fans why I'm #1 on that pound-for-pound ranking. And I'm also excited to get out there and remind the old fans what I'm capable of. So, a lot of pressure for sure. But at the same time, I'm just like really just grateful, really excited, and yeah.
Do you remember having butterflies in the cage, and do you feel like you might kind of feel that feeling like this is your first fight or something like that?
Yeah, you know, honestly, the years that I fought 4 times in 1 year, I had the same level of butterflies. You know, I had butterflies every fight. You know, if you're not nervous, then that's a problem. You know, if you're just Mr. Oh, this is going to be easy, piece of cake, you know, that's when you're in a dangerous situation. So definitely nervous, always am for every fight, but at the same time confident because I know that nerve is what makes me compete at that really high level.
Jon, do you remember the moment you realized you had to change? Was there like a rock bottom moment or a conversation you had with somebody where you're like, this is not working?
Moment I realized I had to change. Yeah, man, you know, honestly, big moment for me was the night Anthony Johnson and Daniel Cormier fought for my light heavyweight championship, and I saw DC walk away with it. And in my mind, I beat both of those guys. And you know, I was at home with my wife, and I thought to myself, man, you know, here I am, possibly one of the best fighters to ever play this sport, and I'm here at my house without a belt, without a sponsor. You know, just completely wasting talent. You know, I should be in this arena in front of thousands of people, in front of millions of viewers at home, but I'm sitting here in my kitchen watching this fight, you know, by myself, you know, with my family. So that night really is what made me realize, okay, Jon, you are ruining something very special, and it's time for you to pull your head out of your ass and do things right and really ace the rest of this story, the rest of this book. So that's what I'm going to do.
Your brothers are professional football players, obviously. What was their advice to you?
You know, their advice to me, let's see. You know, they didn't really give me that much advice. They were just extremely supportive. You know, they were extremely supportive throughout the whole thing. They know one thing about me is when my back's against the wall, that's when I really give my best, my absolute best. You know, when I'm comfortable, sometimes I coast and I make things difficult on myself. You know, I take things for granted. But when my back's against the wall, when it's really time for me to dig deep, that's when I show my true self and I do my best work. So they kind of set back and was wondering, okay, Jon is fired up now. You know, Jon's back is against the wall. He's at a low point now. Like, let's see what he does. You know, so you know, I feel like a lot of people in my life started gravitating towards me closer because they saw the inspiration come back. They saw that fire in my eyes. They saw that I had something to prove again, and they wanted to be around it. You know, a lot of my friends started to lose weight just hanging out with me. You know, because they saw me getting healthy and powerlifting every day. You know, a lot of my friends started to just come up in life. You know, because of the energy that I was giving off. You know, and that made me feel good. So yeah, you know, that's it.
How much does it? You talked about the night watching DC and Johnson, you know, fight. How much does it motivate you or bug you seeing DC hold that title right now?
You know, it doesn't really. I guess it's a little more motivating, but it's not. It doesn't really bother me. You know, I'm really aware with everything that's happened. You know, I took myself out of the competition, being a knucklehead, and gave DC an opportunity of a lifetime to finally capture that belt. This may sound weird, but in a way, I'm happy for him to have gotten to taste the opportunity, because you know, outside of the fact that I don't like him, he's really not a bad guy. And, you know, watching him, he makes a great champion. You know, he has a clean image. You know, he seems like a family guy. He works really hard and everything like that. So, you know, me not being in there, you would want to see a guy like DC have the belt. So a part of me, in a weird way, is happy that he got the opportunity. But now, he's had it long enough. I hope he enjoyed it. It's time to pay his rental fee and get that ass whooped when I finally face him, maybe at UFC 200.
If he's such a great guy, why don't you like him? Why don't you like him if you feel like he's a good guy in the way you described him?
The reason why I don't like him is because, really because, you know, he doesn't like me. You know, that's really what it boils down to. You know, the way the whole thing got started was, you know, me telling the guy in a joking manner that I can take you down. You know, I can take you down any day. He got so pissed off for me telling the truth. You know, as of right now, he still hasn't taken me down. I think I've taken him down 5 times. So, you know, the whole thing got started with me telling him what I thought was true, which I've proven to be true. And he decided to hate me from then on, and now I just don't like him anymore either. I believe once I beat him the second time, the whole feud's going to go away. Because it's going to be like, all right, you're better than me. I can admit it. You know, I'll go home. And
at the press conference here last month, I saw Art backstage kind of eyeing up DC. Were you worried that your brother was going to kind of?
No, yeah, my brother, he definitely will fight for me in a heartbut. You know, we're like best friends, and
because he was kind of like he was mad.
He was pretty fired up. I think Arthur feels as if he could have been a fighter. I believe he could have been a fighter. So when he's around fighters, naturally his chest is just a little bit bigger, his shoulders are just a little bit wider, and it doesn't take him much to want to, you know, defend his little brother. If you remember when I fought against Brandon Vera, I got into it with Brandon on stage, and Arthur was right there, you know, chirping Brandon. So yeah, definitely don't mess with me when my big brother's around. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for your time. God bless you all.
Thanks, Jon.
And it's good to see you all again.